Hey guys, it's Railroader Cabal here in Clash of Legions to do another 1 versus 1 video commentary. Found this game on the high charts here on the 1 versus 1 ladder. Two very good players here, and we're going to be on the map Entrance to the Abyss, or Entrance of the Abyss. So let's get this game started here. And in the top right, we have Bizz playing in the top right as a red faction, and then down in the bottom left is COMPUTER1 playing as a cyan color. So both these players are from the Spada clan, and Entrance of the Abyss is actually a 2v2 map, so a person just to the bottom of them has an easy expansion that they can definitely hold relatively well. Depending on how your playstyle is, you can always go for a very quick expansion, either that or you can just like rush the other person with like say hounds or gnolls and do a very good rush tactic here. So Bizz and immediately he's got out of the gates and go for barracks. What he has in his barracks, he's got healers, gnolls, high priest, prime minister, and bats. So that's the ground force is relatively just going to rely on these gnolls here. And then what does he have? So he's got watchtowers and a catapult. So that's the first time I see a person have a catapult inside this deck here. So what does Computer have? Computer in his deck has a Voduns, healers, imps, gnolls, and shadow fighters. So that's a pretty anti-air deck if I ever seen one. But I don't think that Bizz has anything in his deck that can... Oh yeah, he has bats. So not really certain how both the players are going to be acting towards each other. They might be expecting, you know, a kind of like of air type battle game. So that's why Computer has shadow fighters in his deck. He's obviously going to go for some gnolls first, and I want to see some bats in action. I think hopefully Bizz can you know, build some bats, and then we'll see how powerful they are. I've actually personally seen bats play in my games that I play, and they're not too bad, I think. I mean, if you get like enough of them, and then you can do like a certain distraction with like certain amount of units. Let's say having a unit coming around on the side here, and then you can just bring in your bats and then just melt all the goblins here, kind of like with the imps. But you can also melt structures here too. So Computer is going to go in with an owl and just a scout to see what Bizz has in his deck. Oh, by the way, Computer has smoke and blizzard in his deck for spell cards. And then what does Blizz have? Blizz just has blizzard. So one blizzard versus one blizzard and smoke. So we'll see how both these plays. But that's because Blizz has catapult in his deck. So both players are going to see one another's owls. So that's going to be indicating that both players will scout each other. We'll see if Bizz can do proper micro, and he will see that he is going to be coming up against gnolls. He has got to watch out that his owl does not get into contact with that watchtower, otherwise it will be virtually destroyed. But with, you know, watchtowers having such limited vision, other than like electrical towers and ice towers, that they have very limited vision, even though they're fast firing. It is a cheaper option than, say, ice towers, but a lot of players do see ice towers and electrical towers nowadays. So Computer actually has an overload amount of goblins in his castle here. Yeah, he's actually going to be building another owl here as well, so that he can hopefully spot one of the owls from this game here. And I'm not sure if you know this, but if you do see like a little bit of like surge in your screen, that's an indication that an owl is there. So hopefully that's a little bit of a trick that I found when I'm seeing owls in this game. There's a little bit of like a spot there that you can see that's like off center, and then just like shivving for stealth. That's an indication there's an owl there. So that's something that I just picked up just recently, actually. But two owls now from Computer is going to go straight towards the base of Bizz, and we'll see what he's able to find there. He is going to be seeing some prime masters coming out from those barracks, and both players are just like gathering up their armies, gathering up their forces, and we also see some healers being built here. So healers is definitely one of the like the must-have cards in your deck, because a lot of players just have these kind of cards. Because if you have something like a gnoll or knights or something heavy in that deck, you obviously can have some healers. So now we see Computer is going to be going out with a massive army here of gnolls and Voduns and healers. So we'll see what's going to be to come of this deck. Bizz is not particularly prepared for this. He is going to be able to defend this because he has Prime Masters in his deck, and with his special ability, which is just to go berserk. But we see a catapult being made. And look at that massive catapult, has a massive area of influence here, or at least a range here, though. That's interesting. Actually, the catapult just be able to finish. And we'll see what kind of the catapult is. It does splash damage, and those Voduns, or not Voduns, but those gnolls took a massive hit. And now he's going to have to deal with his catapults here. And so Bizz is going to be playing the defensive game here. So we'll see what's going to happen here. A computer can definitely not get into the base of Bizz at this rate here. He's going to have to deal with these catapults. And if he had, imps in his deck, he would have been able to broke through instantly. But now Bizz is going to be playing the defensive game, and he's very well set off with these catapults because they do an insane amount of damage, as you saw, to those gnolls here. And even with the healers healing up the gnolls, it's going to be a fight for Computer to get into the base of Bizz. And Bizz, meanwhile, has got a second expansion up and running. He's also building some more healers, but I'm pretty sure he's cap strapped. So what that means is that he can't build any more units in his army. He has to attack, and he's going to do something with it. But one shot from those catapults will be able to destroy those Voduns, but a surge of bats are coming out here, and those Voduns will be able to destroy that. But here come the catapults, and they do splash damage to a couple of those units, but luckily for the healers, they will be able to heal them up, and now more armies are coming in here, and more catapults are being busted, and there's just an insane amount of armies here. Those bubbles are being used, as well as the Pyromancers and Blizz's support powers, and smoke are coming in. Just a massive amount of stuff here being used by both these players. But these gnolls here from Computer are getting absolutely massacred by those Pyromancers. And bad thing for Computer, he lost all of his frontline units, and now he just has healers and Voduns just to steal with all what Blizz has in his army, which is Pyromancers. And even though he lost his catapults, he was able to retain a good amount of his Pyromancers, so Computer lost a lot of his gnolls here. That was not very good. But like, what else are you gonna do? He's just gonna camp right outside of Blizz's base, and he can't really do anything. Like, he's just gonna be building up more and more of these catapults, which in turn is gonna make Blizz just stay in his base a lot longer. But Computer, even though he's taking control of the map control in this game, he can't really break into the base of Blizz now because he has to spend a lot of money to get those units back under his control. So more gnolls and Voduns in his deck. I kind of feel like this game is kind of come down to who has better control and who's going to make the first move. And in Blizz's case, he has to go to more economy eventually, but not now because he has the expansion going, and he didn't build any of his refineries at a second expansion, so that's not very good. He's got to get those up and running if he wants to get more force out of the map. But like I was saying, though, because if a person wants to go out and expand to this expansion here or that one there, Blizz has to push out, and more Voduns and gnolls are going to be coming in towards the base here, and they're just going to get completely caught out of position. The Blizzard support power is being used by both these players, and the smoke is also well being used by Computer. Hopefully he can push into the base of Blizz here, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to happen here. All those gnolls are just going to get absolutely wrecked by those gnolls and Pyromancers, and all the remains of that force here is just the healers. Now, Blizz can push out and hopefully take out all these healers, because that's a massive amount of army that he's going to lose, and healers are very cheap to rebuild. But in Computer's case, he can't afford to lose this much of these healers, so he needs to save them all. But even with these line amount formations of these gnolls here, they will be able to hopefully hold the line. But a smoke has been used, and thankfully for the High Priest, he was able to do that much damage with the smoke. So Computer lost a lot of cash there, and he was able to lose a lot of his gnolls here, and those healers are taking a beating. They're trying to repair as many of the gnolls here as possible, and they did actually do a very good job. Blizz lost a little bit of his Pyromancers, and now both players are going to be able to retreat back to their bases. Maybe not so of Computer, because he's way out in the middle of nowhere. But back at bases, he's building up more barracks, and he would definitely need that if he planned on building more gnolls and Voduns inside his deck. Hopefully he can break into the base of Blizz, but I highly doubt that, because he's got 3 catapults now, and 3 catapults is just an insane amount of damage upon those gnolls here. So Computer might be out of luck here unless he can pull something out of his hat, which I don't think that's going to happen, and not unless he uses his smoke and Blizzard to his full extent. But even so, if he uses his smoke on the High Priest, you would just able to use the shields, so that's not going to be able to work in his favor. But Blizz is still not placed on his refineries, so that's not very good, and his refineries are almost empty out of his main base. So we will see what's going to happen here, and Computer is almost maxed out, and Blizz is maxed out because he spent a lot of his... He has some money tied into these bats here. So these bats might be the saving grace that Blizz is looking for. And the problem with this is that they're very, very slow. And I'm not even sure what the actual capacity is on them. So it's 35 and 25, pretty much the same as an imp, except an imp costs 25 minerals or 50 minerals instead of 25. But Computer now is out of minerals at his main base, so he is going to be expanding onto this forest right here. And these bats here might be the answer that Blizz needs, because his base is safe at the moment with these catapults. So Computer is just thinking his options, and right now he doesn't have very many options, as I mentioned before. All he has is just Gnolls and Voduns, and if he does see the bats in the center half of things, but I don't think he has enough stuff to contend with this. He's bringing back some of his Voduns, so they are going to be looking to take care of these bats here, but I think these bats are just hungry for some goblins, and they might as well do so. Either that or barracks, I don't know. But he did spot them with these owls, and those bats are just going to be going back and going around the map here to see if he can avoid those Voduns, so that he can do some damage to those goblins and or castles. But I'm not sure if this is a smart idea, just pulling all of your forces away from the front lines just to deal with these bats here, because those bats are going to be, yes, they're going to be a headache for Computer to deal with, but this is just causing, a lot of time for Bizz, because he has over lots of minerals stacked up, and he finally built those refineries at his main base, or at his expansion, so that's going to be very good. He's also building some more barracks, because why the hell not? He has a lot of resources, he can handle it. And this is just causing Computer to rethink his options and just pulling all his forces back, hopefully just to deal with these bats. Now, because he's maxed out on capabilities, he's not able. He's maxed out, so he's not able to place down any ice towers, and this is going to be a big, massive problem here for Computer, because now these bats are coming in, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage to these goblins. 2 goblins are being popped out now, but those Voduns are coming back and push those goblins away, or not goblins, but those bats away, and a couple of goblins do survive. But Computer is able to place down another expansion at this base right here, and he did place a watchtower here, or an ice tower, so I'm not sure what those imp was doing, or not imp. I keep calling it imps, but they're called bats. These bats are pushing in back and forth just to do a little bit more damage to those Gnolls, and you know what? Might as well. It's just a matter of what's going to happen to these bats here, and I think Bizz is just buying his time and putting all his forces back so that his main force can go in the center half of the map here. But I can almost guarantee that it's just a matter of time before both players bring in their massive amounts of armies and then have a standoff. And I think I might give the advantage to Computer here, just because he has, Blizzard and Smoke in his deck, and that's going to cause a lot of problems here. Even though the High Priest can damage the shields, if Bizz is not in his base, he can't rely on his catapults. But now the massive amounts of armies. Look at this! 5 barracks have been built in the center half of the map here. I'm assuming that's probably Computers. Yeah, it's Computers, so you can build an army. But here come the armies here coming in from Blizzard in his 3rd expansion here for Computers, and is able to use the Blizzard and Smoke. And wow, what a great pincer maneuver there by Computer. He's able to block off, and all those Pyromancers are going to be destroyed. Oh man, Blizzard. But Bizz and Smoke did wonders there for Computer, able to cut off Blizz's forces, and now all those goblins are not going to be able to do any damage here, as well as the Gnolls. They're going to be blocked off by Computer's Gnolls, and those Voduns are doing the damage in the backside of things. Man, oh man, Bizz really got jumped there, and in doing so, he's able to lose all of his forces and all of his armies, and Computer, with expansion there and another expansion there. But, Bizz is finally expanding out of his own main base, but he's going to have to deal with these goblins, and I'm not sure how long those catapults have left in their time bank, because they do run out after a certain time. And just at the moment, Bizz is just spamming out Gnolls left, right, and center, and with the help of those healers, they're able to do some damage here, and then bringing in the Blizzard support power coming in from Blizzard, or from Bizz, and the Smoke as well, using in the backside of things. But just a matter of time before, Bizz is probably going to be calling quits in this game. Or maybe not, because he's doing very good. He's able to hold up the enemy assault with all these Gnolls here. And he did pretty well. Just a stalemate right now, but those catapults are just insane. But they do run out of time. They're running out of time, and now all those Gnolls have been defeated. Now all that is left for Computer is just these Voduns. But more and more Gnolls are being built from those barracks. And this is probably... Oh, a Shadow Fighter here. Nice! So a Shadow Fighter is a very good option at the air, because I think he knows that Bizz doesn't have any anti-air to speak of right now. And this could probably be GG for Bizz, unless he can pull something out of his hat. But like I said before, the Pyromancers are not going to be enough to deal with these Gnolls. Even with the Shadow Fighters on the top half, they're doing pretty good damage to all these barracks. And you know what? Computer might as well destroy all the barracks, because that's probably what's going to be holding them. Because if you can destroy the barracks, that's going to be pretty good. Even the desperation move from Bizz, bringing in all those goblins, so this could This is definitely GG for Bizz. Not sure how he can come back from this because losing all those goblins is not very good. And actually, at the same time, I think he probably just wanted to go to a different castle because I think that's what those goblins were trying to do because he lost all of those minerals. But yep, computer wins the game. GG to Bizz. So interesting game there. So computer, lots more minerals collected, lots more gas collected, and more units summoned, over almost 200 units for computer. That's actually pretty impressive. And units defeated 127 to 94. So 62,862 to computer and 47,255 go to Bizz. So that's an extra, what, 20 to 18,000 in favor of computer. Okay, so there's your game on Abyss of Entrance, or entrance of the Abyss. My name's Cabal, and I'll see you guys on next time.